for sure. Epstein was a Nazi. He was. Suck me, Ian. He was a Nazi. Why don't you pull your fucking Obsidian board up here, and why don't you get to the bottom of it? Go take a look. Come on.
From like literally nothing. Like he was a unqualified math teacher, and then suddenly he was like a big shot banker, and then suddenly he was.
It was Donald Barr. Donald Barr is the fucking motherfucker who brought him in. That dude seems like a German Nazi to me too.
Managing Les Wexner's multi-billion-dollar fund, like, and so
that dude sounds like a Nazi to me too. Mysterious past, mysterious family. Not.
So there's just, he was groomed for his position because he was a dirty piece of shit, and he was a math teacher that was groping his students, and he, you know, probably had other relations and skills.
A lot of charisma.
No, I think he's like the kid of someone. He's a Lebensborn.
He must have been
100%. Great code switcher.
He was selected. He wasn't the boss.
Selected. And then he was put into place in order to run the front of that operation. But there were many others. He was not the only one.
Maxwell was behind it, Bill Butler, but Maxwell was his handler. I think Dershowitz, was part of it. I don't think he was a victim of it. I think he was helping running it. He said
probably family.
He said he's an agent of Israel. So it goes deep. Every aspect of it is Jewish. And the girls on there always said they would call them trash and goyim, and they're pathetic because they're not Jewish. And the prime minister of Israel, I can't think the number of times, but he visited
Ehud Barak, you dummy.
He flew into New York and would sneak into Epstein's house. 30-something.
Dude, Ehud Barak has been to the island more than anyone. But it's because he's disgusting, not because he's Jewish. And it's because he's a Zionist and a not to boot.
Times, right? I don't know, maybe
he was one of the most prolific. Yeah.
But he wasn't going to the island. He was going to the house.
Dude, Ian really is coming fully mask off. He doesn't give a shit anymore. I think they're all going to go mask off soon. If Ian's doing it, Eddie will for sure. Like, yeah.
To talk to Epstein. So he wasn't going out there to take sexually girls.
Well, it wasn't just the island. He had houses. He had a house in Palm Beach. He had a ranch. He had,
the really dark shit that people don't know about that ranch is there was other stuff going on at that ranch that never really came out.
Yeah, I think Lebensborn shit. You know what Jeffrey Epstein was obsessed with? Creating like a lab of people making babies for him, of him. Sounds pretty Libby-esque, huh?
It's hard to know for sure because it got buried, but it's like...
It got raided though.
It got raided, and a lot of the evidence...
Yeah, by the feds who did it, who run the fucking sex trafficking ring.
That
just like Diddy's shit got raided to make sure no one sees all of the feds' evidence that they use to blackmail people.
You know, a lot of the stuff that was there, hidden as fuck.
You can say a little speculation.
Yeah, because you got to remember that he was interested in science, in high science, and a lot of it was genetics, and a lot of it was breeding, and a lot of it, you know.
That's right, Ian. That honestly, I haven't really thought about that, and all the eugenics shit that he did, and the fact how that perfectly lines up with y'all's Lebensborn plan. Thank you for pointing that out, Ian. Yes, it's not because he's Jewish, but the Lebensborn program is very German. Very, very not. So that's a good point. Thanks, Ian, for helping point that out and bringing that to my attention. That's a great avenue to attack this. Yes. Epstein does sound like a Lebensborn genetic fanatic. You're right. He doesn't sound Jewish. Dude, thank you, Ian. Good job, bud. Now that's some investigating.
There's a lot of questions about like what, like people, the word on the sort of like street of the victims of Epstein is that ranch was a breeding center for either genetic experiments or genetic testing, or Lord knows what's going on. And there is lots of talk in the sort of satanic ritual abuse survivor sphere, which is way bigger than most people realize. That's like very much a real thing.
That's a deep.
It's fucked up. Yeah. So it's a dark rabbit hole. It's very real. There are many people that are survivors of like essentially the global, like Satanism is a religion that does exist globally, and it's
created
just
by a Jew.
Yeah. Yep. And